This is a 13 Weather Impact Update.
Good Monday evening, West Michigan. I'm meteorologist Blake Hansen, and we are tracking a severe thunderstorm in the Allegan County area that has been providing some strong winds and even a reported waterspout off the shores of South Haven. This is the live look here at satellite and radar, and you can see while many of us are still under dry skies, there's one particular thunderstorm that's right around from Holland to South Haven. And that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 8:15 for the entirety of Allegan County and the northern extent of Van Buren County. That orange box not doing its justification there, but all of Allegan County and northern Van Buren County under a severe thunderstorm warning. The main threat here is wind gust upwards of 60 miles per hour, but this thunderstorm has shown some signs of rotation, including this was from the National Weather Service, a storm report, a storm spotter reporting a waterspout off of the pier of South Haven, just to the west of the South Haven Pier. Now, we have not seen any photo or video of a waterspout here at 13 on your side, but that report did come in from the National Weather Service that at least a spotter, a trained weather spotter, did see a waterspout to the west of the South Haven Pier. Now, this storm is progressing inland now onshore, and this is providing some winds possibly up to 60 miles per hour. I will say it does appear that the bulk of this storm is subsevere, meaning that it's providing winds in the 30 to 45 mile per hour range, but there is the potential with this thunderstorm that is moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour that there could be some isolated pockets of wind that could be near severe criteria, and that's why the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued this severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this storm is moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour, so we'll do a little bit of a rough track here. Let's try to get it here. Let's draw our line, again, to the east at about 40 miles per hour, and if this holds its strength, we're looking in Allegan proper about 7:48, so about 10 minutes from now. Dorr at about 7:55. Plainwell, that's in northern Kalamazoo County, at about 8:03 this evening. And if it did continue into parts of Berry County into the Middleville area, about 8:15. So that's about 40 minutes from now. Again, this is moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour, and this is a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued from the National Weather Service roughly about 15 minutes ago. This is the only severe thunderstorm warning across West Michigan. In fact, all day long today, West Michigan was not included in any severe weather risk from the Storm Prediction Center, just a general thunderstorm risk. But this storm has proven to show some potential to be on the severe side, and the National Weather Service, the fine folks there in Grand Rapids, I think there's just enough there to issue this severe thunderstorm warning, again, for all of Allegan County and the northern extent of Van Buren County. This storm is really impacting more in the way of Allegan County. You can see the peak of this storm, where the heaviest rain and some thunder and lightning is generally now passing the Fenville area towards Hamilton. Again, if this keeps its momentum, which it likely will in some extent, Allegan proper, within the next 15 minutes or so, you'll just see this storm on the doorstep. Let's see how much lightning, a little bit of lightning being detected, more in the way of heavy rain. And if we look here at our velocity product here, we're going to try to get a look inside the storm here. Not seeing too much in the way of rotation. You try to look for these greens and reds coming together, what we call a couplet, and that indicates that there would be stronger rotation in a individual thunderstorm. But for this thunderstorm, the rotation looks pretty broad. If anything, this looks like to be some gustier straight line winds coming down with the momentum of rain, with some of that heavier rain coming through. There was a pretty decent shelf cloud coming onshore out of South Haven, between South Haven and Saugatuck, a pretty defined shelf cloud. So for the most part, if there is any severe potential with this storm, I think it would be more in the way of gustier winds, those straight line winds, instead of any true rotation. in this thunderstorm. So something we're keeping an eye on here. It's about 7:40 for those here on 13 plus. You might be watching on YouTube as well. We are just watching this lone thunderstorm. And the one reason why we are doing our streaming here is because the definition of this severe thunderstorm warning from the National Weather Service also includes the warning or the wording there that a tornado is possible in this storm, and that is due to a waterspout being observed offshore of South Haven with this thunderstorm about 45 minutes ago, and still some broad rotation overall as the storm moves onshore into the heart of Allegan County. Again, this is pushing to the east, maybe a little east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So all of Allegan County, you're going to see this storm push through. It's already made its way through Saugatuck, South Haven, the Fenville area. You're seeing some heavy rain right now and probably some gustier winds. Not really seeing too much in the way again, of rotation or even strong winds. I think there's some gustier winds with this storm, but it appears for the most part this storm is sub-severe right now, despite the severe thunderstorm warning ongoing from the National Weather Service. But definitely a storm if it is now past dark now. We're at 7:40 here. But if you are in Allegan County, the eastern half of Allegan County, if there's anything outside you want to bring in, do it right now. Any loose objects in the yard, bring that in just in case you do contend with some gustier winds. But this is our severe thunderstorm warning that includes Allegan County. It does also include the northern fringe of Van Buren County. The orange box not doing its job 100%, but that is the location of that severe thunderstorm warning that goes all the way until 8:15. So we got about 35 minutes, just shy of 35 minutes of this severe thunderstorm warning. Again, we're still trying to find if anyone had a photo or video of that water spout off the pier of South Haven, but that was a confirmed storm report from a weather spotter saying that that water spout was visible offshore south of or to the west of the South Haven Pier. So again, that's a big reasoning why I think the National Weather Service, the folks there in Grand Rapids went ahead with this severe thunderstorm warning just because of that observation indicating that this storm does have some rotation. And we did see some video of a fairly decent shelf cloud rolling in to South Haven, stretching up to Saugatuck. So the storm at the very least trying to provide some gustier winds. As we expand the view, just to kind of talk about if anything else is going on here, really not. We will see showers and storms pick up in coverage. You can kind of see some tailing thunder showers back in the southern tip of Lake Michigan, a few additional showers in eastern Wisconsin. Some of that will work its way into West Michigan as the evening goes on. And really through tonight, we have a fair rain and thunder chance. But I do have a strong feeling that this is going to be the only storm for the most part that has some severe potential with it. As we get farther into the night, we're going to lose our instability from the daytime heating, and the cold front will be making its way through the area as the night goes on. So we'll start to lose some of that juice in the atmosphere to support any stronger storms. But holding on to this one stronger storm here in parts of Allegan County, even a little bit in the southern Ottawa County right now, just to the north and east of Holland, but it appears on the northern extent of this thunderstorm just providing a heavy rain threat, which isn't a bad thing by any means because we do still need a fair amount of rain across West Michigan with most of the area under some classification of a drought. But again, it's this thunderstorm. If you're joining us here on 13 plus YouTube, I'm meteorologist Blake Hansen, and we're tracking this one thunderstorm warning that goes until 8:15. A little bit of thunder and lightning in this cell across Allegan County, but really not sensing any true rotation. And that's the one concern with the wording of this thunderstorm warning, is that there has been some weak rotation presented. So there is the potential of that tornado risk. But again, a lot of the rotation right now, when we look at this product here on radar, this is a sample of the winds in our atmosphere, just not seeing too much that is a concern, at least, for stronger rotation, which is great news. We don't want to see that. But just not seeing that right now. And if we go to one other product, this is just a look at any debris potentially. There's really nothing on here that's screaming that there's any tight rotation, any concern of a tornado. But again, we are still watching this severe thunderstorm warning. You can see this is a loop over the last hour, how this rolled on shore. I'm kind of slow this down even more. And you can see how really strong there, right as it came on shore. Let's loop this back. This was right around 7 o'clock this evening, and you can see that this thunderstorm presented definitely an ominous look here on radar, and that was confirmed through the shelf cloud coming in on shore near South Haven, and then that reported water spout that was observed by a trained spotter. So again, this did have a little bit of a punch as it rolled on shore, and as it continues now into Ottawa and Allegan County, it does appear it's losing some of its energy, but still something we'll keep an eye on over the next half hour as this storm continues to progress eastward at about 40 miles per hour. For now, right now, it does not appear we have any updates from the National Weather Service if they're going to extend this warning or make any changes to it. So for right now, we're at 7:45 here on this Monday evening. We're going to let radar loop a little bit and come back when we have some additional information. But we'll let this storm roll on radar here and stay on the stream here on 13 Plus, or if you're watching on YouTube, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. This loop of radar will continue, so no need to find somewhere else. We'll keep this running for you. And again, once we can find more information, and hopefully that means that the warning will be canceled and we're all done with any severe weather risk, we'll let you know about that in the coming minutes. But again, Allegan County primarily, severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15 this evening, with the potential of some isolated wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, and the broad potential of a tornado risk just due to the rotation that has been observed at times with this thunderstorm. So again, we'll be back in a couple minutes once we get more information. This loop of radar will continue. And for those been following this stream of radar over the last 20 minutes, I'm meteorologist Blake Hansen here at 13 on your side, and we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued by the National Weather Service. This new severe thunderstorm warning includes parts of Barry, Kent, and Ottawa County, but primarily southeastern Kent County and also in far northwest Barry County. So let's try to take radar off here, and you can see that new warning there. That kind of includes the southern tip of Kent County, so that includes Byron Center, Caledonia, and then in Barry County, just to the north of Middleville, in the Irving area, Middleville itself, also including just to the west of Freeport in Barry County. That's kind of the box of this severe thunderstorm warning. Notice this severe thunderstorm warning, look at the top left hand of your screen there. The main concern there is some wind gusts, maybe upwards of 60 miles per hour, some small hail. There is now not as much of a risk for any tornado potential as the rotation in this storm has been weakening. It was already broad to start with, and that rotation has somewhat weakened. But what we're watching right now is this part of the thunderstorm right here, right in there. See how that's bowing a little bit? We got a little bit of a bowing signature there. That is right on the doorstep at Dorr, the Wayland area. Yeah, this storm is going to provide some gustier winds for sure. Again, maybe some isolated pockets up to 60 miles per hour. I will say, based on what I'm seeing here on radar, I do not sense that this is widespread 60 mile per hour wind gust. I think this is more in the ballpark of 30 to 45 mile per hour wind gust, but there might be some isolated pockets as this thunderstorm tries to bow out a little bit. We could see some wind gusts approach severe criteria, and that's probably what the National Weather Service, the folks there in Grand Rapids, are thinking too, as this storm continues to move a little bit to the north and east at about 40 miles per hour. That's what they're keeping an eye on. So again, we'll put a track on this actually, and I'm going to turn down the sensitivity here on radar. Let's get this going. There we go. Get some of the outside noise out of here. But if we take a loop here, or a path here on this storm, right in here, see how that's bowing a little bit? You're going to see that line there. This is heading just a little bit to the north and east, about right there. Again, Wayland, this is right on the doorstep. In Gaines Township, that'd be the northern fringe of this storm. We're looking at about 8:20, so 10 minutes from now. If you're in Caledonia, about 8:23, so roughly 10 minutes from now as well. And if this continues at its strength, we'd be heading into the Middleville area, just north of Middleville, at about 8:27, so 15-ish minutes from now. It's 8:10 here in the evening. But this is the main part of the storm that we're watching here, and it's because of how it's appearing on radar, what we call a bowing signature, and that can provide some strong winds at times, and that's the concern there from the severe thunderstorm warning that now includes parts of southern Kent County, primarily from Byron Center to Caledonia, and the far northern fringe of Barry County, primarily in the Middleville, Irving area northward towards the Kent County line. Of course, Allegan County still under the severe thunderstorm warning as well. But there is the possibility that some of these winds, gusts at least, could approach 60 miles per hour. I'm going to put velocity back up here. This is another feature of radar. And we're looking at velocity here. Again, not sensing too much in the way of rotation. Where that bowing signature is, again, in the Dorr area, you can kind of see that it is bringing in some stronger winds. They're just outside of Dorr. That's a pocket of some gustier winds. We'll see how much that's reaching ground level. The radar shoots upwards into the atmosphere. So in the Dorr area, this is measuring winds probably at about 1,000 feet, roughly about 1,000 feet above the surface of, or ground level, I should say. But still providing some strong winds. We might see some of that actually mix down to the ground level. So that's why there is this severe thunderstorm warning from the National Weather Service that now includes northwestern Barry County and the southern clip of Kent County, roughly from Byron Center to Caledonia. And there's a better look at that severe thunderstorm warning. I'll take off radar here. And you can see there's that new warning right there. There's that new warning. But the other warning that's in parts of Barry County, that is, or I should say in Allegan County, that still has the messaging that there is some broad rotation in that storm. But again, it just doesn't appear anything is significant enough to warrant any other messaging here with this thunderstorm. But this is our main action right now. For the rest of West Michigan, if you're watching from Muskegon, Ludington, for example, Big Rapids, you're still generally under dry skies right now. Maybe a touch of rain reaching the ground, but by far nothing on the strong to severe side rolling in. It is primarily this storm progressing through Allegan County and making its way towards Barry and Kent County, parts of those counties. It'd be primarily the southern half of Kent County, so southward of Grand Rapids towards Byron Center, Caledonia. If you go a little bit farther to the east, we'd be talking a little bit more towards the Freeport area. That's on that Kent-Barry County line. If you go east of Caledonia, then you might get a little bit into parts of Lowell, the southern half of Lowell could see this storm. But this severe thunderstorm warning is just more in the way of some localized pockets of wind gusts, maybe upwards of 60 miles per hour. To be a severe thunderstorm, we look for wind gusts over 58 miles per hour. So there is the potential there for some severe winds. Having said that, I think this will be very isolated in nature. If we did see those severe wind gusts reach the ground, I think most of this is behaving for the most part, but the observation is just this one particular part of the thunderstorm right in here, how it's trying to be somewhat of a bow. And when we see that on radar, that's a fair amount of times when we're contending with severe weather, that presents the possibility of strong straight line winds and potentially some embedded rotation. But that's what we're watching here with this bowing thunderstorm as it tries to work its way now into far northeastern Allegan County and southern Kent County. I do expect this to be probably our main show tonight. Our ingredients for severe weather were not great in the first place, and as we continue to get past, as we go through this evening, as we head towards these later evening hours, we're going to lose more and more energy in our atmosphere as we cool off through the nighttime hours, and that will limit our risk even more. So hopefully once this all passes over the next hour or so, it starts the weekend, and then we can just focus on your run-of-the-mill rain showers, potentially a few rumbles of thunder. But still have that severe thunderstorm warning right now for southern Kent County, northwest Barry County, northeast Allegan County until 8:15, and then that, I should say 8:30 actually, that one storm in Kent County and also Barry County. So we have some time here. Let's go back to that. And actually that one in Kent and Barry County is now to 9 o'clock this evening. So about 45 more minutes with this severe thunderstorm warning that's trying to work its way into those respective areas. Looking at thunder and lightning, not a lot right now. Now I will say when we go back a few minutes, there was a fair amount of lightning in the Door area, back to the west towards the Hamilton area, Fenville, for example. There was a fair amount of thunder and lightning for a few minutes. Still some of that being detected on radar. Now to the north and east of Door, the heaviest rain right between Door and Byron Center. So right along, there's 131. Yeah, some heavy rain reaching the ground. And one other thing we'll keep a look at here is maybe the small potential of hail. There's our hail potential right now. And yeah, right up and down 131, Wayland, the Door, just to the south of Byron Center, maybe some small hail reaching the ground with this storm. Don't expect anything too large in the way of hail, but there definitely could be some small pea-sized to possibly penny-sized hail with this storm that's crossing US 131 right now. That is a look at our hail potential. And again, when we go back to velocity here, this is a look at the sampling of winds in our atmosphere. Appears a good pocket of some gustier winds there in that main section of the storm between Wayland and Dorr, but not sensing any strong rotation or any concern for that side of severe weather, such as a potential tornado. Just not sensing that right now. This appears to be more bringing in some brief gusty winds, some small hail, and of course torrential rainfall. Let's get back to radar here. And you can see that the storm definitely is providing some torrential rainfall. And we do need the rain. That's one thing for sure, with how dry it's been over the past several months for many of us in West Michigan. Try to turn down some of the sensitivity here in radar, but you can see that this main storm is working its way right through Wayland, just to the south of Byron Center, crossing 131 right now. That's the main portion of this storm as it tries to continue to bow out a little bit, but that last frame there on radar isn't as appealing for that. So hopefully that means this storm is somewhat weakening to the point where it's below any potential of severe criteria. Just taking a look here, no new update. We also now have, this was just issued a few minutes ago, a special weather statement for a fair chunk of the area. Now this is, there we go, there's our special weather statement. That is for the southern half of this general thunderstorm. This might provide some winds up to 40 miles per hour, some small pea-sized hail. Notice this is southeastern Allegan County into a fair chunk of Berry County. A special weather statement is just indicating that this thunderstorm is trying to pack a punch but is not meeting any potential of severe criteria, such as inch-size hail or greater, winds in excess of 58 miles per hour, or any potential of a tornado. So good news there, but still packing somewhat of a punch. Some gustier winds, maybe up towards of 40 miles per hour. If we draw a line there on that storm, that's also progressing a little bit to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Again, this is going to be in parts of southern Allegan into Berry County. So if we take a general look there, you can see, yeah, in the Shelbyville area, you've already seen some torrential rain over the last few minutes, but this would be heading eastward towards Orangeville. You got Yankee Springs State Park, you got Hope Township, Baltimore Township, Hastings, for example. This will be all sliding eastward within the next 20-ish minutes or so. Again, not a severe thunderstorm for this particular section, but just enough to warrant a heads up that there could be some gustier winds. Back to the severe thunderstorm warning here in parts of Allegan, Berry, and Kent County. It does appear that initial severe thunderstorm warning in Allegan County has expired. That was the one that had the potential of some rotation in the wording out of that severe thunderstorm of a tornado possible, but that has since expired, it appears. Appears that has. But we still have this severe thunderstorm warning right now for parts of Allegan, Berry, Kent, Ottawa County. And just to take this off and put radar back in, yeah, you can see this is the main storm right here that's warned between Byron Center, Wayland, and the far southern tip of that storm in the Shelbyville area. But this is crossing US 131 right now. This is going to be moving a little bit to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Again, right in here. So if this continues its track, again, Caledonia in about not even 5 minutes. So you'll be hearing this storm rather quickly. The Middleville area about 8:30, and that this would continue to go to the north and east. This would be heading towards the Kent, Ionia, Berry County intersection by around 8:35. But that is what we're watching, just because of a little bit of the signature that this storm is trying to present. And if you weren't with us about an hour ago when we started this stream, as this storm made its way on shore near South Haven, there was a confirmed sighting from a trained weather spotter of a water spout just offshore of the South Haven Pier. So that warranted the initial severe thunderstorm warning in parts of northern Van Buren County into Allegan County. And now what we have right now, this same thunderstorm progressing into parts of Kent and Berry County. We have not seen any video or pictures of that water spout here at WZZM, but that did come from the National Weather Service, that storm report from that trained weather spotter. So we will treat that as fact, given that they are confirming that from a trained weather spotter. We are also still progressing with this thunderstorm. That's now just it's pressing through US 131, still some torrential rain you can see stretching from Byron Center, and now down to the east of Wayland. Colton, are you seeing anything?
They updated the severe thunderstorm warning a minute ago for tornado possible 6 and 1 winds.
Okay. I do want to go back to this. I want to thank, by the way, meteorologist Colton Woods for letting me know about this. There was a quick update to this severe thunderstorm warning here in parts of Kent, Berry, and Ottawa County. They did now put the wording there of tornado possible back into the wording of this warning. So they are sensing that there's a little bit of rotation there, and we're going to try to take a look here. Let's go back to velocity. They might be looking at some of this over the Wayland area right now. That's kind of what I'm thinking, Colton, that's what they're looking at potentially, is right in there, the Wayland area. But that to me seems more just straight line winds. But that's what, there could be a little bit of broad rotation here. But from all accounts, it just seems to be more in the way of straight line winds. But again, this storm still presenting that look on radar as it tries to bow out. And that's what we always have to watch out for when we track these types of thunderstorms. This is a look at our debris tracker. You know, that's what's interesting, Colton. This was earlier. See that right there? And that was about 8:11. That was about 15 minutes ago from the door area. Just to the south, and you see that to the south and west of door. Not sensing too much here on our product here, the debris potential. For the weather nerds out there, this is also known as correlation coefficient. To put this in easier terms, that's why we call it the debris potential. So same thing here with velocity. We're looking at velocity. This is just a simple thing of looking at a sampling of the winds in our atmosphere. And so we try to look for signs that inbound and outbound winds from the radar site, which is just outside of the Ford International Airport at Cascade Township. Trying to look for any signs that those winds might be rotating. Not seeing too much right now, which is a good thing, but again, we still have to keep an eye on this storm as it tries to progress into parts of Kent and Berry County. I don't like that. Let's get back here to radar. This is all associated with a little bit of a cold front we got coming through here right now, and that's why we're going to go from the 80s that we've been enjoying might be a word that some aren't saying, but what we've been contending with, 80s the last few days, down into the 60s tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. And this cold front got just enough with it to provide this severe thunderstorm warning here for parts of Allegan, Berry, into Kent County. There's a better look at that warning where that's located. You can see that it's primarily the southwest or southeastern corner of Kent County, including Caledonia, even including Lowell, and the far fringe of that warning there in Kent County. And this also includes northwestern Berry County, Irving into the Middleville area, places northward towards the Kent-Berry County line. But we put back on radar here. We're getting a little bit of a harder look at this storm because this storm's almost kind of making its way right near the radar site. So a little bit tougher here to get a good look. But yeah, you can see this storm is pretty much now passing. If I can kind of draw or show this, you can kind of see how this loops all the way down here. So just to the east of Byron Center now, heading into Caledonia, down now into western Berry County towards the Middleville area. We have not seen any damage reports or anything with this thunderstorm, which is a good sign so far. Let's just see if I'm seeing anything on Consumers Energy. And it doesn't look like too much. It looks like we got one decent power outage just to the north of Allegan proper, just to the east of the Dunningville area. Yep, just to the east of the Dunningville area. That's where there seems to be one power outage, but nothing else popping up there. This storm's all pushing to the north and east at about 40 miles per hour. So yeah, I might just go back, Colton, to a different look on radar. It's getting a little tough here. For those wondering about other places across West Michigan right now, no concern for severe weather right now. I'm going to really be hypersensitive to the radar right now. But you can kind of see that there's another cell. This is nothing that's of severe criteria, but just another quick rainmaker heading towards Grand Haven right now, and a few additional cells over the waters of Lake Michigan. But for many, if you're watching north of Muskegon, you're watching in Pentwater, Big Rapids, it's still a dry evening. We will see rain on the increase for pretty much all of the area as this evening goes on into the nighttime hours. But definitely seems to be the main show for any potential severe weather right here between Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo, but primarily right in here in southern Kent County into northwestern Berry County. So roughly from Caledonia down to Middleville, in between. That's where we're seeing any stronger note to this thunderstorm. I'm not really getting a sense of any rotation here. I'm Colton. What we have here, for those that are watching us right now, here is the radar site for West Michigan. It's right here, Cascade Township. That's the Ford International Airport. Right outside of the airport, that's where the Weather Service operates here in Grand Rapids for the bulk of West Michigan. And you can see that storm is fairly close to the radar site. And what I'm getting at here is that this, when radar's shooting the beam off to detect any incoming rain and such, it shoots slightly upwards based on the curvature of Earth. And being this close to the radar site, from the radar there at the airport to about Caledonia, that's only shooting up about 500 feet up from ground level. So it is struggling to get a full sampling of this storm. But at the same time, also having a pretty good idea if there's any rotation near ground level, and just really not seeing too much of that right now. I feel like this is more pockets of gusty wind than anything else. We could be seeing just the sheer momentum of rain, torrential rain, maybe some small hail reaching the ground. The outflow of that could be providing some brief gustier winds, but this is a messier look here on velocity, which is great. We don't want to see any severe weather, especially now that we're in October. We're done with this, but this is what we're contending with here this evening. It's about almost 8:35 here in the evening. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Kent County and also Berry County. And yes, that also includes Allegan County as well, but this storm is starting to progress a little bit away from Allegan County and now heading into parts of Kent and Berry County. That's why we're here streaming on 13 Plus and also on YouTube. We have just had, we have just only contended with a few severe thunderstorm warnings this evening. There have been no tornado warnings from the National Weather Service, nor has there been any signs that will change right now. As of now, we still have just that one severe thunderstorm warning for Berry, Allegan, Kent County until 9 this evening. So another 25 minutes from now, I'll get off of this radar loop. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you can kind of see right there how this storm is getting, the view of this storm is getting cut off a bit because this storm, the northern fringe of this storm is right over the radar site right now. But the primary part of the storm we're watching is right in here. Now passing Caledonia, now passing Middleville. This is all progressing to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So this will just be to the south of Lowell, into the Alto area by about in the next few minutes or so. And if this would continue into Ionia County, perhaps, then we would be talking more in the Clarksville area, Lake Odessa. That would be the potential maybe where this storm continues. But as of now, it does not seem like this storm is producing anything widespread in terms of wind or hail. It seems like this is pretty isolated, some localized wind and hail with this thunderstorm. But the National Weather Service is playing it safe here with this severe thunderstorm warning just in case, because earlier this evening, for those that are just joining in, we did have a National Weather Service of Grand Rapids did have a trained weather spotter confirm a water spout off the pier of South Haven. That storm did have some signs of rotation over the heart of Lake Michigan, over the waters of Lake Michigan, and it's carried on some rotation. I think it's been fairly weak, but some rotation inland, and that's why we've continued the severe thunderstorm warning, at least the Weather Service has. They're the ones that issue these warnings for parts of West Michigan. But again, this is all moving to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. And really, it comes down to the wording of this severe thunderstorm warning right now, just with the potential of that rotation, of why we're hands on deck here watching this thunderstorm press through. Hopefully, all it's doing is giving a nice little light show, right, Colton? Some heavy rain, because we need some rain. That's for sure. It's been awfully dry here, not just for days or weeks, but for many spots, months. Pretty much this entire year has been a very dry one. So we'll take any rain we can get, but hopefully it just comes as that and not with any severe weather. And the good news is that we have not seen, not heard of any signs of damage, not even seeing too much in the way of power outages from Consumers Energy. So that's a good sign there. But we're going to keep letting radar loop here over the next couple minutes. We'll take a quick break, but we'll let this radar loop, so no need to exit the stream, and we'll be back with you in just in a few minutes with any new update. And hopefully that update means that we're done with severe weather. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to our stream here on 13 Plus on YouTube. If you're watching, I'm meteorologist Blake Hansen. It's just about 8:50 here in the evening, and we still are holding on to a few severe thunderstorm warnings from the National Weather Service. There's a look at our thunderstorm that's providing this severe thunderstorm warning. It is now progressing eastward into far eastern Kent County now. About to be working its way into Ionia County, and this storm extends southward through a fair chunk of Berry County. This storm is right on the doorstep of the Hastings area. As of right now, in terms of what we have from a severe thunderstorm warning perspective, we still have that one severe thunderstorm warning for Allegan, Berry, and Kent County. This storm is done, though, in Allegan County and almost done through the entirety of Kent County. That is providing the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds. I do say that this storm generally looks to be weakening. That's why the new warning that's primarily for Ionia County extends into a little bit of northwestern Eaton County, but primarily Ionia County. The main concern here is for maybe some pockets of wind that could approach 60 miles per hour and also some small hail. But notice there is now no warning of any potential tornado due to rotation. So that's the good news there. The storm seems to be weakening as it progresses farther inland, and it makes sense. We're now almost near 9 o'clock. It's been dark for nearly 2 hours. We're starting to lose some juice in our atmosphere, and that should be a continued theme through this evening and through tonight. But this is our severe thunderstorm warning there in parts of Berry, Ionia, Kent County. This is continuing to progress at about a clip of 40 miles per hour. Just want to get a accurate reading of how fast this storm is moving. This is moving to the east at about 35 miles per hour. I would say that this is the main storm right in here that's about to be working its way into Ionia County, right there near Clarksville. If you're in the Clarksville area, yeah, this storm is going to be right overhead pretty soon. And again, I said this about a half hour ago, if you were following this stream, that at times we've seen this thunderstorm try to bow out a touch. Notice the curvature here of this thunderstorm, and you can see how this is trying to bow out. So at the apex of this bow, that's where you generally could see some stronger winds. Right now, this storm is moving at about 35 miles per hour to the east-northeast. So again, right through the heart of Ionia County, this is going to be heading towards Clarksville within the next few minutes. Lake Odessa, that's to the south of Clarksville, that would be just a touch after 9. If we continue this would possibly be heading towards the Portland area towards around 9:25-ish. But that's on the far end of that severe thunderstorm warning. But right now, we do have that continued warning. The biggest thing here is that bowing of the thunderstorm, and I think that's providing at least a better potential of some pockets of wind. That is definitely what we're seeing here. Yeah, right in here. That's the main part of that line. In terms of anything else that we're seeing for maybe some hail, a little bit of small hail is still doable. I don't think the hail is a primary threat with this storm. Maybe at best some pea-size hail. I would be surprised if we're seeing anything more than that. In terms of any things on our debris potential, not seeing too much as well, which is good news. This just seems to be more of a wind threat and heavy rain threat than anything else right now. Potentially a little bit of, let's get back to here. There we go. Yeah, you can see this thunderstorm is already progressing very quickly. You can see the old, well, not old, but the prior severe thunderstorm warning that is still for Kent Allegan and parts of Berry County, the bulk of this storm has passed that area. So if you're watching in Allegan County, well, you might contend with more showers and storms tonight as a cold front comes through. Severe weather from this thunderstorm is over. Same thing for the bulk of Kent County. This storm is now moving eastward in Ionia County. And if you're watching elsewhere across the area, there's no other severe thunderstorm potential as of now across West Michigan. Just a few scattered showers providing some quick heavy rain just to the south of Muskegon, and there are a few additional cells over the waters of Lake Michigan. But it's primarily this storm right here that's moving into Ionia County, and you can see the curvature there of that thunderstorm trying to bow out a little bit, and that provides at times that gusty to damaging wind threat, and that's why the National Weather Service of Grand Rapids has continued this warning. That's now, for the most part, Ionia County, a little bit into Berry County as well, the southern half of this line. Notice as you get south of Hastings, there is no severe thunderstorm warning. This storm, well, providing some heavy rain, thunder, and lightning, is mostly behaving. It is the northern half of this thunderstorm moving into Ionia County, right on the heels of Clarksville. That is our main attention, just because of that bowing of the storm, the potential for some stronger winds. I will say the good news here is that we have not seen much in the way of damage reports. There were a few reports of trees down in central Allegan County to the north of Allegan proper. That would be a little bit between, let's say, Allegan and the Hamilton area, right along M40 there, just to the east of the Dunningville area. That is the potential. That was where we've seen a few reports of some trees down, but that has been it so far. And that is generally a rural area with more farmland and more trees. So that is the only thing we have seen so far from a widespread power outage threat. And there's been no signs of power outages or damage reports, at least right now, through parts of southern Kent County into Berry County. But we're still watching this one storm here in Ionia County, right in the southwestern half of the county, in the Clarksville area, really stretching to the south side of Lowell in the Clarksville to the west of Lake Odessa. That's where we're seeing the potential of those stronger winds. Just joining us about 8:57 here on this Monday evening, and we still have a pair of severe thunderstorm warnings through the area right now. It does appear that we will see one of these severe thunderstorm warnings come to an end within the next couple minutes. And we have that other severe thunderstorm warning that's for primarily Ionia County. That goes until 9:30 this evening, but this is just for winds upwards of 60 miles per hour. And again, it does appear that a lot of this is sub-severe, meaning that it's not reaching that 60 mile per hour threshold, but still something to watch out for. This is a look at velocity, a sampling of winds in our atmosphere, and where that bowing of that line is. You can kind of, well, that's not what I want here. Right in there, you can kind of see up and down. That's where our main potential is there for some stronger winds. But as of now, I have not seen any signs of damage reports with this, and that's good news. So hopefully that means that this storm is, for the most part, behaving despite somewhat of an ominous look on radar. That doesn't always mean that that is causing severe weather. So that's the good news there. Anything else in terms of Hail, a little bit of small hail still doable. Again, with that main line coming through, that even extends into Berry County itself with the entirety of that storm. Let's get back to our not what I want. You can kind of see the entirety of that storm there as we broaden out the view. Make radar not as sensitive. Yeah, and elsewhere, there's just not a lot going on. Again, just a little bit of shower activity to the west, but everything there is behaving. There it is, our warning that was part of Allegan, Kent, and Berry County has expired, so all we have left now is the severe thunderstorm warning that is mostly now into Ionia County. That appears to be the main thing there. And again, a lot of this is just for the potential of some stronger winds, maybe near 60 miles per hour. And that small hail potential as well that we just showed, but a lot of that seems to be fairly small in nature, not reaching that criteria of inch in diameter hail to be severe. So that's the good news there. We're gonna let this go for maybe another minute here, and then we might let this stream come to an end just based on not seeing too much in the way of damage reports. And if we do, and we start seeing the storm pick up a little bit in Ionia County, we can come back on to another stream. But it does appear right now that this thunderstorm is moving through, starting to move through Ionia County. And then this will be generally out of our area here in West Michigan and pushing towards Lansing to St. John's. So that's what we got there. But it's about 9:01 here on a Monday evening. We're going to let this stream come to an end. We have that severe thunderstorm warning still going on until 9:30 this evening for, again, mostly Ionia County. There is the potential for some localized gusts up to 60 miles per hour. But the good news so far is that there has been very little in the way of power outages or even damage reports from this thunderstorm, despite a few warnings that have stretched back to the lakeshore. So for now, we'll let this stream come to an end. I'm meteorologist Blake Hansen here on 13 on your side, and we'll let you know. We'll keep you updated if anything does change in the way of weather, but we'll keep you updated. If not, we'll see you after Monday Night Football on air on WZZM 13 on your side. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your evening. We'll talk